we stand. And I'm still intrigued by the videos, but I appreciate the TBI at least responding and giving us, their take on it. All right, I'm going to shift real quickly now to Riley Strain. Different story. 22-year-old from Missouri comes here like a lot of people do on a Friday night spring break with his fraternity members to have a good time in downtown Nashville. And a bunch of people do that, okay? And you go here, you stay nearby, you're not driving, you probably drink and enjoy the music and the honky-tonks. Nothing unusual and good for them having a great time. Well, as you know, he was at Luke's 32 Bridge bar downtown and was at some point asked to leave later, and I'll get into a statement that we received from Luke Bridges. He left Luke Bridges and then disappeared. Now, I will not say without a trace. There has been several video clips, security video, showing him walking after he had left the bar by himself. And clearly, if you see the video, he is under the influence of something. He is unsteady. He's been drinking. You can tell, okay? He's just staggering about, all right? And then vanishes on that front. The fraternity brothers at that point, I think, stayed still at the bar. The next morning, they discovered him gone. And I'm going to talk about, people's anger over the fraternity brothers and why they let him down or whatever. And I have kind of have a thought on that. And one part of it that came up today is that law enforcement says they continue to search. They're focusing their search around the Cumberland River. And there are several homeless encampments along there. They said they've gone into the homeless encampments along the banks of the Cumberland River, talked to some of the homeless that are in that area. They say they've been very cooperative, tried to answer questions. They're not saying anyone homeless involved with this. They're saying at this point, no evidence of foul play. Okay, though in the absence of all else, they continue to look into that possibility. But the scary thought here is that somehow Riley Strain, in his condition, made his way down along the banks of the Cumberland River, fell in and drowned. His body, they've been out there searching. I've done stories before, where people have fallen into the Cumberland there along Riverfront Park in downtown Nashville and drowned. Their bodies are found several days later downriver in this current, down maybe near Cheatham Dam, something like that. At some point, if that's what happened, his body will surface. I sure hope that didn't happen, but that's what they're focused on. Now, there have been several questions about the situation with how he ended up alone in all of this. One of them was, and not that, let's keep in mind, the focus should and belongs on finding him. How much he drank and why he was left alone. Those are all questions worth asking that we'll answer here now, but the focus needs to still be on, regardless of any of the answers to those questions, it's all about finding Riley. But one of the questions surrounding his disappearance, was he overserved liquor at the bar? That comes up, okay? Was he overserved? In security video, as I said, it certainly appears that he was tipsy, under the influence, kind of staggering about. Now, I can tell you that the Tennessee Alcoholic Beverage Commission investigating that question, was this a case where bartenders could tell an individual was so drunk and they kept serving him when they shouldn't have? And they try to monitor those kind of things, okay? Well, a statement was sent out late this afternoon by the company and the bar, Luke's 32 Bridge, and it's interesting what they say, okay? In our effort to help the Nashville Metro Police Department's missing persons investigation of Riley Strain, we proactively provided detailed information quickly after his visit to our business on March 8th. This information included all security camera footage, photos of Riley at our establishment, and detailed timestamps, transaction records, and staff accounts. Now, we've seen security video of him walking about out in public. I have not seen any of the video from inside the bar that I assume might show him and show how much he was consuming. But they go on to report, all right? During Riley's visit to Luke's 32 Bridge, our records show he purchased and was served 1 alcoholic drink and 2 waters. At 9:35 p.m., our security team made a decision based on our conduct standards to escort him from the venue through our Broadway exit. Broadway, by the way, for those of you who aren't familiar, is the main drag, so it's the front door. Through our Broadway exit at the front of our building. He was followed down the stairs with one member of his party. I told you he was there with some of his fraternity brothers. The individual with Riley did not exit and returned back upstairs. Riley walked off on his own. All right, so Providing that these records are accurate, Riley was only served one alcoholic drink at that bar. Now, of course, you don't know. It's possible other people were buying him drinks and handing him shots, and you don't know that, and that's something that maybe wouldn't show up in their records. Okay, but the other question is, who knows what he may have ingested before he went to this bar? I assume the frat guys could. They could probably say, hey, yeah, we all know how expensive it is to buy drinks downtown, so back at our hotel room, I don't know where they were staying. I haven't looked into that. We all had a few drinks beforehand, and so we kind of got set so we wouldn't have to buy as much when we got there. A lot of people do that. So I don't know what they said there, but also...
welcome you guys back on here. If you're new, consider subscribing, liking, and also share this video. So you guys, have you followed the story of the missing student or college student from Nashville who actually disappeared a few days ago? Actually, it's been a week ever since he disappeared. The name of the student is excuse me, Riley Strain, a 22-year-old university student of Missouri, or you can call it Missouri. He was last seen, I think it was March 8th, and he had traveled with a couple of friends. They went to have a bit of fun, and of course the main essence of their travel had actually been the annual spring formal for their fraternity in Delta Chicago University of Missouri, Associate Director of Public Affairs. So on Monday, police actually came out to release some of the information, about the missing college student, that is Riley Strain. Actually, from a couple of footage and clips I've been seeing around, he was last seen from, Luke Brand's bar. He had actually, they say he had went in there to take a couple of drinks, and then later, after behaving abnormally, the bar owners and of course security decided to escort him out humbly, and of course they did that. But on their way out, of course he was with a friend, they moved out, and then from that moment he disappeared completely. We've been seeing a couple of CCTV footages, here and there, of him staggering around, and the family right now, actually, they are coming out to accuse Luke Brand's bar of how they handled the whole issue. But I think it's really not fair, if at all we are going to blame everything that happened on Luke Brand's bar, because it's a public place, it's a bar, everyone can go in and can go out, and of course, in case you misbehave, I'm not saying this from an insensitive point of view, but if you happen to go in a certain place like a bar, you behave abnormally, of course the security of the place have a right to humbly request you to move out. That's what they did. But of course, away from that, the boy is still missing. Up to now, it's been almost 8 days ever since he lost. The family is still searching for him, and it's really very emotional for them. There has been a GoFund page where so many people actually are sending in money to help the family in travels and of course hotels and stuff like that, the logistics which are helping them to look for their child that is that is really strange. So, but for me, my whole take on this this issue is that I don't know what exactly the boy took in the bar, because he looked like very, very uncomfortable on his own the streets. Like from the last footage we tried to capture and of course take a look at it, he really looked not so okay upstairs, like mentally he was staggering. He never even reached his hotel. No wonder that after 16 hours his friends had to contact the authorities, and of course the search had to begin there and then. So we should actually put our prayers to we should put the boy in our prayers, and of course the family, because man, losing someone of that age is really very tough, and of course very, very hard to take in. So we keep praying for them. We should keep praying for the family, because indeed they are going through a very tough time.